Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. This video will be divided into three segments, and the topic will be transmedicalism. For those who don't know what transmedicalism is, it is a term used by a segment of trans people as well as conservatives in order to gatekeep the trans community. Essentially, if you don't have gender dysphoria, you are not seeking treatments, you are not conforming into certain social norms or an appearance which aligns with cis beauty standards and generally outside the box, then you are often dismissed as a transgender. And this term is used for non binary people as well. You see, this ideology is highly toxic and problematic. But before we get into that, I really want to delve into the mindset of how bullshit it is, because being trans doesn't mean you have to have gender dysphoria. And before we get into like the impacts of transmedicalism and also define what gender dysphoria actually is, we have to realize that trans people as well as non binary people have existed for thousands of years. And before medical intervention in the form of hormone therapy treatment or sex reassignment surgery for some, like trans people, non binary people existed across the globe and is also found in non European nations. And the concept of third gender is still observed by some ethnic groups and nations in the world. And because of colonialism, third gender has become unpopular, just like how intersex surgeries have become the norm to raise intersex people. Trans erasure is a real thing because often these trans medicalists often rely on the opinion on cis people, and they try to tell you that gender dysphoria makes you feel like shit, and it is not societal pressures or discriminatory factors which are behind it, when the reality is that being trans has nothing to do with how unstable you are. Like, they are reducing being trans into living up into certain expectations of how you look like, how you present like, even though they acknowledge that there are many factors such as blue and pink which are socially determined and doesn't really relate to the trans experience. They do it enforce the gender binary in other means as well. And as conservative Blair White said, like, gender dysphoria is the mechanism that defines transness, but transness isn't always connected with gender dysphoria. The fact that these transmedicalists are emphasizing on a certain ideology that is derived from European colonial rhetoric is very problematic. And a lot of people, especially transgender youth who are sucked into it, are based on their insecurities.